I can. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Hey, everybody. Old Back to Cats. Brittany. Sixth Sense Amelia. TGIF. It's Friday. Yay!
It wasn't Friday. We weren't going to make it. So it's a good thing it's the last day of the week.
Exactly. But it sounds like the trial is going to wrap up either Monday, Tuesday, you think?
Right? Well, you're I'll be honest. I didn't get to the very end because, as you know, I've been having some stress in my life. So I had
Right,
some
right.
vomiting. So, which I'm fine. I'm fine. But I didn't hear the very end. Last I heard, Dr. Lewis was coming on Wednesday. Am I wrong? Did they move that up?
Well, the prosecution or the defense said that their witness will be on standby
Oh.
on Monday. So if there's enough time, and they said they're going to
Oh.
evaluate at lunchtime to see where they're at, and then they discussed closing arguments that the judge isn't going to put a time limit on it, but after 90 minutes, he needs to give the jury a break, and so yeah.
There's no time limit, but after 90 minutes, I'm going to start giving you guys a stink eye, right?
Right, right. He said that he put a time limit on their opening statements, but they went under. So he said, I'm not going to put a time limit on your
Huh,
closing statements. So
huh,
your closing
not so
argument.
bad.
So I think there's only a couple more witnesses from the prosecution has one, which they said they'll evaluate at lunchtime. And then I'm assuming Dr. Lewis is the only
Is,
prosecuting attorneys.
is that the only one? Is that what we're
I
saying?
I don't know. It just
Defense?
yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Is
The
that,
defense. Did I say prosecution? I meant
yeah, no,
defense.
but
Yeah.
I understood what you meant. So is that's what we're saying? The defense is only calling Dr. Lewis.
I
Wow.
it only sounded like they had one, but I could be wrong.
Well, no. It might just be that. It might just be hinging it on that because it is not guilty by reason of insanity. So technically, I mean, they already called, the prosecution already poached their witnesses. Already called Harley, already called her brother, already called Al.
Right, right.
The people who could have testified that she did or did not have DID. So I guess maybe yeah, unless the queen of whatever decides to, you know, make our year and get on that stand.
Uh yeah, I don't think
Wouldn't it
that's
make it
gonna
all worth
happen.
it? It,
Oh
it
my
would make
gosh.
it would make this trial all worth it. Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna happen. But yeah. I am wearing a shirt, by the way. It doesn't look like it.
It really doesn't. Are you naked? Are you out with Coral over there?
It's so nice out. I walked to the store and got some groceries and stuff, and
You left the house?
I
Wow, what
did.
was that like?
Um, it actually was a breath of fresh air. It felt good. I thought about sitting in my misery all day, but where is that gonna get me?
Right in your misery. Yeah.
Elise, Tabitha, Samantha, Teresa, Reagan, Mary. Gosh, we have a great crowd today. I'm so
You are
glad you can.
worried about Dr. Lewis. My short answer would be no. And the reason would be, here's the thing. Over the last couple of days, and I don't know who's been watching, who hasn't, but it seems like every time that that Tortellini, I know that's not his name, it's Tortellini. Every time Tortellini doesn't like a witness, he first attacks where they work, instead of instead of saying you're a paid witness, which obviously they're not paid. He can't say that. So
Right,
instead
right.
he does this. Oh, aren't there big problems at your facility? Which just makes me roll my eyes so bad. Like I have a headache from rolling my eyes. Like every time, it's all he does. So um, and I
Yeah,
mean, they were tasked with the thing. They did their evals, and then Lewis is gonna do hers. So am I worried? No, because I think the jury is gonna get. They have an opportunity to put on as many witnesses as they'd like, right? How many is the prosecution had? Three. Three. Well, I think they're still doing Dr. Gray. So they've done Dr. Gromit, Dr. Torres, and I think they're still going to do Dr. Gray. So they've done 3 psychiatrists to 1. So I think the jury is going to get a feel for that. Also, they've had Al's talk about what she's like, Harley's talk about what she's like. So I'm not worried about Dr. Lewis coming in and saying she has DID, because at this point, I don't think the jury would believe her. I mean, he's trying. Oh, there she is. Look at that. Erica Wells has graced us with her presence.
Hello.
Thank you for joining, Miss Erica Wells. The special guest is here. But no, I don't know. I'm not worried. Are you worried, Kim?
I'm not worried because I don't know. I'm pretty sure, even from the jury's questions, that it's pretty evident that uh, there's just
Well,
way too much supporting information to not say that was sane. I mean,
well,
everybody's saying she's sane. You get one
she,
person on there.
she herself said, I know right from wrong. I read the book cover to cover.
Cover to cover, yes. She
Cover to
studied
cover.
it. Yeah.
And she's not wrong. I forgot. Before I forget this, I did a whole, you know how we go down those rabbit holes? I don't usually go down rabbit holes during trials, but you know what? I was bored. So I went down a rabbit hole because she brought up word salad. And I was like, that's in the DSM-5. Now, granted, I've not read it all, and I haven't even delved into it in quite a while, but there was a case I had a long time ago where I did look into it. And so I was like, you know what? That's in the case. That's in the DSM-5. Not only is it in it, but it's specifically linked to narcissism. And so I thought that I would read this to you guys and see if you think that it sounds like our crazy lady here. Hang on a minute. I'm not going to read what's in the DSM-5 because we'd all just fall right back to sleep. No, hang on. So, narcissisms will throw out a bunch of words that don't make sense if they feel they're being threatened. They do this purposefully. It's a gaslighting tactic.
Right.
It's because they're manipulators at heart, purposefully twist any combo to maintain control on the other person. They use it when they're being called out or when they don't want to talk about something. Basically, pay attention to me. And that's when they call out their flying monkeys,
Right.
which is basically their henchmen, which is when they use, guilt tripping, twisting the truth, gaslighting, threats and violence, which the flying monkeys is a lot of what she did to Al. She did a whole lot. Remember in the phone calls, how she did the whole
Yes.
guilt tripping, and I had to
Yes.
drive across the country, and it was $185 a night, and then it's to pay
Yeah.
for the dogs, and I had to borrow a car. And, it's a lot of hard work, tough body, and, well, she did, but and she told them that she memorized the autopsy report. Now, you and I, we've done this. You know how hard it is to look at the autopsy report of a child, even a child we've never met.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I can't imagine.
Imagine. Yes.
She
And that
said,
just goes to show how the depths of evil that lie within her. To me, that's
right?
it. It speaks volumes. Who
How
does that?
deranged she is, right?
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't. I. It was interesting. I'm surprised that they let her have access to her discovery before her evaluations because, well, obviously, granted, they were only evaluating her for competency and then insanity. So technically, it didn't matter what she knew or when she knew it. But just I was just surprised that she went over it that obsessively. I guess I shouldn't be. I mean, it's part of who she is. I mean, it's part of what she does. I could barely look at an autopsy report once, read it all the way through, look at the drawing, get what I need to get out of it, and then file it away so I don't have to look at it again. And that's for strangers.
Right.
I just, wow.
Somebody, yeah, that you were involved with. And it's so crazy because when she went into talking about what actually happened, I thought,
Oh,
you know what? She already says I'm insane. Like, we're going to get the truth now. Like, this is going to be the story. You know what I mean? Like, when people
yep.
plead guilty and they have to talk about what actually happened, they're like, I pled guilty. So
They
there's
have
no
to
point in
say,
lying.
right.
Yeah. There's no point in
Exactly.
lying after this. Yeah. And so I thought, oh my God, we're going to get the truth. I text you, oh my God, she's going to tell the truth. The truth. And it was so far from the truth. She's involving both Landon, the poor baby who's 9 years old, or I don't
An
know how, 7,
archangel, don't forget
and
him. Michael
Yeah,
was there.
Michael, and then Harley heard her screaming, and then the prosecution it goes up and asks, wouldn't you think that they would say that they seen or heard that
Right.
earlier, which they never have? That's
No.
their brother that they think is gone missing. They're going to say something. But no, she just claimed that, they were involved, anything to get her off. I will throw anybody under the bus, involve anybody.
Oh
She
yeah.
has no regard for any of those people. But I
And
did
and Harley. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
and and I did find it interesting, which we found out on Wednesday, is that there was talk about them separating, because I thought, she's trying
Yeah.
to get him back. This accident happened, but maybe she really didn't want to be with him. She did want to do the flight attendant thing, and she said she was looking for a
Sure.
house, and all this talk about them separating, which I kind of figured was going on. I felt like there was some problems in her Google searches, kind of laid that out,
Yeah.
but yeah, it kind
Yeah, but
of
she said it.
confirmed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, okay, all right,
Yeah.
this makes it's all coming together. It's all coming
But
together.
but I wonder if he knew. I wonder if Al had any idea at all that they were separating. I
No,
bet you he had not a clue.
so on Wednesday, it was L's, they said, um, that was from Al's conversations, that he did confirm that they were talking about separating. Um, and I don't
Oh,
remember
so
how that came
he
up.
told the police that he knew that they were?
Yes, and then,
Oh,
of course,
okay,
then
okay.
today we found out that she about the flight attendant, and that she had already started looking for other places. But what's interesting is after everything happened, she's begging to get him back. And I think the only reason, I don't think she really wanted to get back with him. I think she just wanted to get off of this crime that she made.
Mhm.
And
Right,
she's like, if I could get him on my side, then
right.
maybe, other people will believe me.
Well, he's protected her in the past, right?
Yeah,
Anytime she's had a crazy scheme that went wacko, he's always been right there. And, maybe if I convince him I wasn't involved, maybe he'll stand up for me. Um, and, Erica brought up a good point there. Do we think there'll be witness statements? I didn't, I completely forgot. There I was thinking, I cannot believe they're not going to have Landon testify to what Gannon's like, but they don't need to because they can do it after the verdict. They can
sure.
have they can have Landon testify after the verdict.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Erica, I think for sure. At the very least, Landon and Al, maybe even his grandma and papa. Are they still alive? Do we know? I can't remember my own name, so I'm not certain on that.
I'm not,
Uh,
I, uh, maybe, because she said that something about a birthday party and they were coming and she wasn't sure if they were going to stay at the house. So yeah, there was some talk about it, but
well, at the very least, Al's mom was alive just before this happened. So we know
yeah,
that at least, but that was 3 years ago, but at least 3 years ago he was. So yeah,
right,
I
right.
do believe that they will do witness statements. Either way, it doesn't matter whether it's not guilty. I mean, whether it's oh boy, tell me I didn't jinx us. Whether it's guilty or not guilty by reason of insanity, either way, I think they'll still do witness statements. I, I, I don't know. The
Oh, I'm gonna
whole
grab my notes. Bear with me one second.
no, no,
All right,
take your
keep every.
time.
Yeah, they're on my bed. Hold on.
I'll keep everybody company. Okay, so who else is in here? Let's see. I'm gonna go back to the beginning. Oh, bad two cats. I know Kim said hi. Sorry, I missed that. Hello, hello. Um, is it Elrica or Elrissa? I like that. Hello, Brittany. Hi, Reagan. Samantha. Hello. Mary Stout. Will you be back to normal content soon? Oh, She actually filmed. Let's see. I think she has one filmed. That she's supposed to be releasing, but um, April is National Child Abuse Month. So we do have an episode that she is going to be filming that has to do with someone saving a child. So I'm completely speaking out of turn, Kim, and telling people what they can expect from you.
You what?
I'm completely speaking out of turn and telling people what they can expect from you.
Oh, for me?
They ask if you'd be back to normal content soon. That
Oh,
they
I'll
miss
have
you
a new
soon.
video up tomorrow.
There you go. I had said that since it was National Child Abuse Month, that you were hoping to get a video out about someone who saved a child. So,
Yeah. I don't know
hoping
if I can get that done this month, though. I'm putting a new video out tomorrow, and then that one was supposed to be done this month, but with everything going on with this trial and everything, I got behind. So
yeah,
hopefully next weekend I'll have that one.
sure, sure. But that's all. They were asking because they said they missed your face and they were ready
Aw.
to see more that's Gannon.
Did you
And
did
I
you
get
guys
that.
see, did you guys see
It's
the Jeremiah one I put out last week?
yeah, it
Hopefully
was Mary
everybody's.
Scott. Mary, did you get to see that? The Jeremiah Valencia one? That was yet another Albuquerque. I don't know what's going on in Albuquerque. It's
Oh
not
my
just New
gosh.
Mexico, it's quite specifically Albuquerque. Makes me
Yeah, that
concerned.
area for sure.
Makes me concerned.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. Let's see. A lot of people said the coverage is great. I was just
Oh,
going through comments. Everybody loves you. That's all.
no, thank you.
Lots of love here. Lots of love. It's interesting that it's been going this long, and not once have we had anyone come in here and hate either of us or support or support. I know her name is Letitia, but today I started calling her Felicia.
Bye,
I
Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. I just all day. It was too much of her voice listening to her all day again. So I was talking to my husband and I started calling her Felicia, and he kind of laughed at me, and I was like, "Yep, can't help myself. I can't do it." I actually had him researching, like, were there this is how bad it is. Yes. This is how bad it is in my house. I actually had him researching, were there actual YouTube hiding challenges, and does red and black, the combination, significant, does it have a significance in American Indian or American Native American heritage? Yes, that's exactly what I had him on today.
Oh
And
my gosh, that's funny.
yes, exactly. I even reached out to my son. I don't know if you guys know, but my son is 22, and I even reached out to him, and I was like, "Hey, YouTube, TikTok, anything anything about hiding challenges?" And my husband was like, "Well, I know about like where you jump out and like scare people," and I'm like, "No, she's talking about like hide as in your parents have to go
Parents are
find you
due.
challenges."
Right, right.
And as far as I could tell, the good authorities in this house and the Ramsey household say it does not exist.
Okay.
And as far as
I
red
didn't believe.
black, red is either rebirth or it's blood, and black is either darkness or it's just night waiting for. I mean, there's no red black. I mean, as far as we could tell, and it also depends on um, which Native American tribe you're talking about.
Yeah,
I mean, it depends on which tribe you're talking about, what beliefs they have. So I thought it
sure.
was gonna be simple. Gave my husband a task. Hey, look this up. What's red black mean? And he was like, they're colors. I'm like, yeah, you're not funny. Yeah, I know they're colors.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's pretty much
that's what I
it.
was doing while I was trying not to claw my eyes out while I was listening to her talk. Yeah. I was
Well,
assigning tasks. So there you go.
oh my gosh. But I love how it started today. The whole thing that we talked about the last time where they kept on talking about whether or not
Oh my
Letitia actually met. And I'm like, they're spending another 20 minutes talking about this. And the only thing I got out of it is that the defense was like, well, we don't want the jury to think that we're lying. And it's
we
like,
don't want to look bad.
the whole country, the whole world knows you're lying about
Exactly.
this case. You think that they're going to think
Exactly.
you're lying over that? Like,
Yeah,
no.
you think there's a WebEx, login sign-in sheet is going to bring their opinion up a little? I'm not sure, but on sentencing day, may the courtroom be filled with red and black. Wouldn't that be something, Mooney? Wouldn't
Oh
that
my
be something?
gosh. That is
Wow.
good.
Um, I've always thought on sentencing day that the defendant should have to face outward, to face their accusers, the people that they harmed. That's what I've always thought. I always thought that they kind of take the coward's way. They get to face the judge, and in most cases, they can't be directly spoken to. You have to speak to the court, which I just,
Right.
me, I'd rather go in there and just bust him up. Yeah, I've never been in a fight in my
Bust,
life, but you know what I mean. I like
bust
to
'em
talk
up.
stuff. I like to talk stuff.
I've
It's
never
been
heard you say
nice.
that before. I gotta bust them
Bust
up.
them up. It's because I've never said it. I've never been in a fight. Are you kidding me? Come on.
Oh, that's funny.
Mm. Interestingly enough, aren't the opening credits and the closing credits of your very own YouTube sensational show, aren't they actually red and black? I do believe they
Yeah,
are.
they are red and
I
black.
do
Yeah.
believe they are. See, there you
My
go.
whole channel
They're
colors are red and black. Yep.
there
Red,
you
white,
go.
and
They're
black.
anti Felicia from the beginning. So there you go. There you go.
Anti-Felicia. Oh my gosh. All right. So what did
I
what
can't help
else?
it. Well, let's see. We have to go back to Tuesday. Where were we on Tuesday? Were we still? Let's see. We had Dr. Gromit, which was defense expert one. Grimmett.
Right.
Sorry, Dr.
Right.
Jackie
Right.
Grimmett.
Right.
Let's see.
It was kind of the same
And
today.
she
It
was
was
approached to do a yeah. It was like the same kind of thing, which leads me to it's going to be the same kind of the third thing's going to be the same thing. She was approached to do a second opinion in the just on the competency, and then the defense asked for the second eval. I guess they just, I don't know, they thought maybe the second time was charm. I don't know. But yeah, and at the very least, the prosecution got in there that insanity is not in the DSM-5 because it was making me a little crazy. So yeah.
sure.
And that's when we learned that apparently Letitia talks to the entire cast of Twilight. So there you go. You know, all of her alters are.
They all roll together.
I was like, did she say Twilight? I busted out laughing. I told my husband if I was in the jury, I would be in so much trouble because I would literally have just lost it. I would have laughed so loud. And I mean, it's not a funny thing. You're sitting there, it's a trial of a child, but yeah, names directly related to the movie of Twilight. So yeah, there's that. Yes.
That was probably the most funny. That's one thing that
Well,
actually made me laugh. I was like, "Oh my gosh."
and there was also the prosecution asking for the record was um was Dr. Grimmett's was her accent Scottish or not? See, we won the bet over here because my husband and I thought so as well. But I thought it was funny that he said, just for the jury, you know, what's the accent? Is it Scottish? She was like,
I
yes.
liked her. She
He was
was
taken
well, I
back.
liked both her and the psychologist today because they're so even keeled. You can tell the difference in their professionalism between the one that works out of the jails and now works with pedophiles or whatever.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah,
because the one that works from the jail and she was on the defense, like she wanted to prove her point so much that she was
yes,
almost coming off abrasive to the defense, which isn't a
yeah,
good look. Where these people are the next two
yeah,
professionals in mental health were stating that they leave the biases out of it. They don't
yeah,
care either way whichever way it goes, it doesn't matter on what they did or how they
Mm-mm.
feel about the crime. It's the
No.
information that they're gathering of what they're saying, which is so important. And then when the defense brought up the whole mental hospital and are you making decisions because there's overcrowding? And
Right.
she's like, absolutely, she debunked that very, very quick.
She did
It,
really good. She was
she
like,
did,
"Well, actually, there's a separate section for those who are criminally insane and commit murder. There's a separate section, which
yeah.
yeah, but you're right. Yeah, you're right. These two seem to be kind of more relaxed, more, yeah,
Even
but
keeled almost
yeah,
like
exactly.
they've done this before. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I concur.
Yeah, but I really like the witness on Wednesday. Would you say her name was? I'm terrible with names. I should write them
Um,
down.
Dr. Grimmett,
Grimmett. Yeah,
Dr. Grimmett.
the Scottish.
Yes, the one from Scotland. Yes.
Yeah, she just kind of was like she was so chill. Like they would ask
Yeah.
some awkward backhanded questions, and she's just like, no.
Yeah. And they said, can DID make you a killer? No. And I like too that the prosecution seems to be horning in on the point just because you have DID does not mean you are insane. You know,
Yes.
you can have it and not be insane. You can have it and not kill people. I think it's giving DID a bad name and it's really making me angry. It's like it's like they're trying so hard to prove DID instead of proving her insane. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? I,
Right.
I don't know. Maybe they hung their hat on this one diagnosis, and so it's that or bust. If you don't
Right.
agree with that, then apparently I'm gonna kick around your hospital until you, I don't know, cough up some extra beds. Yeah, I couldn't believe he said that. So
I
what
know.
what did he call it? What do you call it? Something bias. Shoot, implicit bias. And did you see her face? She was like, "Well, what do you mean by that?" There might be some bias, but I'm not sure what you mean. But
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, they were probably just trying to get a rise out of her by saying that to, discredit her or get an emotion or I don't know. I don't know what that was. But the whole
the only
dark
thing,
angel thing and the whole the extra people and um how she described herself outside of herself when the psychologist clearly said that's you'll have
no,
lapses in time. You won't be able, it's not like you have an outer body experience. That's not how it works. And
we've
I'm just,
exactly, and how many times have we as women or as men, anyone in this chat, have you heard or even experienced a situation where, and this happens a lot, especially with child sexual trauma, where you are literally outside your body, looking at it from above. And I think that Letitia believes that's how DID is. I don't think she realizes that someone else is literally driving. The way Amy describes it is someone else is front. Imagine there's a circle of chairs, and there's a chair in the front of the room. Whoever's sitting in that chair is in charge. That doesn't mean they don't know everybody else is in the room. It just means they're in charge at that moment. So I think Letitia seems to think of it as you know, I'm looking at everyone, I'm looking down on it from above when it's in reality, at least, uh,
it's not how it
this,
works. Yeah.
right. I think this is the third friend I've had. Oddly enough, I'm not sure how, but I seem to find friends that have DID. I don't know how it happens.
Uh,
But it's true. I've had
right,
two in
right. Well, you're
Wisconsin and
open
one this year.
minded. I think
Maybe
most
that's
people get scared off by when somebody says that. And you
maybe
know what I
that's
mean?
why.
Because
Maybe.
education on DID, before this, I had no idea. I thought there was schizophrenia and I thought there was
Yeah,
others. I
sure,
didn't see it as two different things, and maybe they still
sure.
aren't, but when we had our guests the other day talk
Yeah,
about DID and
yeah,
holding yourself accountable and being disgusted when
yeah.
another person even like mouths off, you know,
That was
is
weird, right?
yeah.
And can
So
you
it
imagine
really
coming back
opened
and being like disgusted with yourself for
myself.
something that
Yep.
yourself did?
Right.
Like, yeah, yeah. That is not something that just the layperson would know. I don't think it's just something you would read like on the internet or would be in the DSM-5. I don't think you would know those things.
Right.
That's why she doesn't know these things.
Right.
You
Right.
know, I had this when I lived in Wisconsin, I took this women in lit class. I took two of them, and that's where I met the other two friends that had DID, and it seemed to be kind of a magnet for women that had had child trauma, and both of them described that to some extremes. One of them, um, she only knew about a couple of her alters. Her therapist was trying to kind of introduce them all. It was very new to her, but she was running into a lot of what Amy ran into, which was being called like a fake and a liar, like
Okay. Ugh.
like not like not by professionals, but like friends and boyfriends, like
Sure. Sure.
like you don't like
You
coke,
said
you don't
your
like
favorite movie was this, and then now you're
right,
telling me it's this. What?
right,
Which is it?
exactly. And if you take that to the extreme, consider changing your complete personality with the person that you love and being, I don't know, completely lovey and want to watch a chick flick to be, an action junkie. I mean, you could be to whatever extreme you want to take it to. Um,
Hmm.
it's not the first thing people jump to is, you know, oh, is there more people in there?
Oh,
Unless,
yeah.
you're
Yeah.
looking at me, in
Exactly.
which case you might think that because, I'm not
Well, if
that
you're
sympathetic.
aware of it, then you would wonder that, but
No, I
not.
meant
Yeah.
I was joking. I meant because I'm actually kind of crazy. But I meant in general, it's not something that, people would look at. But yeah, she was experiencing that where people were thinking that she was a flake and she was a phony and
Right.
she was a liar. She was a compulsive liar.
Right.
Um and so I remember when I met her, she said to me that she was trying to live like reminded me of Evan Almighty. Is that what it's called? No, Bruce Almighty. It reminded me of she was trying to live her life without any lies at all, not even tiny little white lies,
Oh,
because
okay.
because of that.
That's
So like
easier said than done. I mean, it's
right,
little white lies like, "Oh, you look great today," and you're like,
right.
"Mm."
Well, right. I worked with her, and so like if you walked in and like I don't know, she didn't like what you had on, she'd be like, "You look really crappy today." Wow, thank you. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you.
Like, and so I would tell her, sometimes being quiet is an okay thing. We don't
Right,
have to
right.
say everything, but no, it was kind of a joke between us. But I think there are just things about it that Letitia doesn't know. Yes, exactly, Linda. She read the cliff notes on it, and
Yes.
the cliff notes just aren't enough.
No, no, she clearly didn't deep dive into it at all. And to your question, Connie, do I believe that she was sexually assaulted? I think that has been consistent throughout.
Yeah,
We already know that
yeah,
he was very unstable as a person.
yeah.
How bad it went, I don't know, but I feel like it's not too far fetched. Did it cause some trauma in her life? I think she is definitely, and I'm not an expert, so I
No,
say this with no, this is my opinion. I definitely think she has a narcissist behavior, but what is it? Oh my gosh, it's not bipolar. It's not DID.
a
It's
borderline personality.
borderline personality
Yeah,
disorder. Yes, BPD. Yes, I see it so many times in people that I know,
yeah.
people I love,
I
and
hate
I
you. Please
see it.
don't leave me. Yeah.
Please don't leave me, but I will
Yep.
push you away.
Right.
Her whole demeanor, her lies,
Yep.
her image, protecting her image, it
Yep.
just so reminds me of, one minute she's feeling great about herself,
Yep.
I'm a doctor, I'm a teacher, I'm this, and then going on I need something better. I want to be a flight attendant. Can I do this better? It's like she has no sense of identity, but then she thinks she's God's gift to the earth.
Right.
It's never,
I think her identity is always in who she's with. And I think a
yeah,
lot of
true.
that comes from not having an identity as a child. I grew up in an extremely dysfunctional family, and I watched my sister go through this over and over and over again. And I I personally believe that yes, she was, but I mean, obviously, we don't know. We can't know. Her stepfather is dead, but
Right,
he was
right.
he was a violent drunk.
She
Um,
left when she was 16. You don't leave your house at 16 unless it's
yeah,
really bad or you have like a boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like
no.
I'm in love and my parents won't let me be with them, so you leave. But no, she left because from all she has described, which we could not be getting the whole truth, but
Right.
what she's described so far, I left at 16 because my home life was so bad. He was beating his mom, he was drunk all the time, they were moving everywhere, and she got assaulted. So I don't know. I kind of believe that it happened. Does it excuse
No, or even
this?
explain.
Or even
It doesn't even
not even it may explain DID, but I don't think she has DID, and I am no professional. I'll keep
I don't
saying that.
either, and I just realized what her name is. It's Alerica. My bad. I was like Alyssa, Larissa. Um, i- she did say to one doctor that it started at 12 and to another at 9, and I think this is just pure speculation on my part. I
Mhm.
think that maybe she bumped it down to a lower age because to her it didn't seem bad enough.
Oh, it has to be
Her
9.
Right. To her, if it started at 12, that's not so bad. And it doesn't matter what the age is, it's terrible. But I think maybe she told the doctor that it started at a younger age because it would sound worse.
Worse.
I think
Yeah,
that by that point, she was trying to make things sound really bad, and she had changed from the competency to insanity. She had done this complete 180, and all of a sudden, everything's terrible. And I've been looking for therapists forever, and you know, I um, wow, God is love. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm really sorry to hear that. Um, I I think a lot of people have really, really. I think a lot of people have moderately bad childhoods, if that's even a term. I
right,
think it takes a lot to create DID. I think
right.
it does. And I think God is love. If you have DID, I think you know what I mean. I think it takes a lot.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
one huge traumatic moment that changes
well,
everything.
I don't know. I mean, I had my mother was the seventh daughter out of nine children. And every single one of those nine children was sexually assaulted by the father, boys and girls alike. And that
Right.
it just passed down from right, and each one of them it affected differently.
Sure.
um he was a violent alcoholic. He was horrible man. Did it cause any of them to have DID? No, but could it have? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
My
yeah.
great great grandma was assaulted. My grandma was assaulted. It was almost like generations tolerated it. Like
Sure.
it just became acceptable, which then my grandma became schizophrenia. So
Oh wow.
she takes medication, she manages it.
Gotcha.
She's what,
Yeah.
95? Like
No.
she,
Wow.
she's never killed anybody.
No, that's right. She's alive and kicking. I remember.
She's very successful in her career and was married for 30 something years. And
Yeah.
my grandfather is a saint, would
Well, and
never do anything like that. And so you can break the cycle. And she didn't kill anybody. And,
well, and also, right, schizophrenia can be genetic.
yeah,
A and B. You're right. It doesn't have to be violent.
yeah.
Neither does DID. To put
Neither
a
does
very
DID.
right,
Yes.
to put a
She could
very
have
fine
DID.
point on it,
Yeah.
she can have DID. She can have all the alters in the world. That does not make her insane, and she could have gone her entire life without becoming violent. It
Yes.
didn't have
And
to
I
do.
think that's the point that it's almost like you have to decide she has DID or she doesn't, because DID makes her all DID people kill. That's and I hate that. I hate that
Right.
that's your choice. It's like either
They're
she has
using
DID.
that, and that
Yeah,
really makes me crazy. That's
yeah,
why. And
yeah,
Erica and Mooney, you'll attest to this. That's why it's my button, because if she has DID, okay, then she needs help. But that does not mean that she needs help in a clinical setting constantly. She can still get help in jail. A, which not as good help. But B, it didn't make her a killer. It didn't make her kill. And I don't think the DID has anything to do with it.
right, right.
You know, See, God is love said I broke it off with me. I have children, grandchildren, I struggle, but I've never wanted to hurt anyone. I agree 100%. You can stop the cycle. You absolutely can. I've never hurt my child, and I've never had anyone around my child who would hurt my child. I've been married to my husband for 22 years, baby. Is it 22 now? 22, 23? I'm questioning him. It's 23 now. Yeah.
A million
It,
years
it
in
is
this day and
23
age.
now. It is 23 now. And if I had ever for any inkling ever thought that he would have hurt my child, that would have been it.
Right,
We would have been out the door.
right.
But I watched my mom do it. I watched my mom sacrifice her daughters at the the altar of whatever you want to call it, and it just keeps going. It happened to her, and happened to her mother, and so then it happened to her daughters. You
Yeah.
know, um, I personally, I mean, I'll share. I don't have memories prior to 8 years old, so
Mhm.
that doesn't sound good in my family.
Yeah.
In my
No.
family, that's pretty darn scary because who knows what could have happened prior to 8. But I mean,
Isn't that funny how I just thought that was normal. That, like early childhood you just don't have a memory of. But then it's like as you talk to other people and they say,
people are like, "Yeah, I
yeah,
remember
I remember when
kindergarten."
I was kindergarten
Yeah,
and my favorite song and my favorite book and this, and
yep.
I'm just like,
You're
I
like, "What?"
don't I
You're like,
don't
"Huh?"
under I just thought it was normal that, I remember maybe, after
Yeah,
10, maybe? I don't know.
I
But
think
my
our I think our brains are they're still a black box, and I think that
yeah.
I'm sorry for that. God is love. I really am.
Yeah. I don't think it's a bad thing that I don't remember because
Right. No.
there was some very, very much some bad guys in my mom's life. My mom was married for
Whatever's tucked
yeah.
behind my wall, may it
Yeah,
stay
it
there.
can stay there. I don't even want to even I hear people about going through what is that called?
Hypnosis.
Hypnosis. Yeah, to try to figure out what
I
lost mem
actually did. I was an idiot in my 20s. I actually did. I went to
Oh
therapy
my
for a very
god.
long time, and I went through hypnosis, and I did. I tried everything to
Oh my
grab those
god. No,
memories,
thank
and
you.
yeah, knowing full well, that my father is a predator. Well, he passed, but knowing full well that he was a predator, knowing full well that my brothers were, no, and I still was like, yeah, I want to know.
I wanna know. I wanna do
Yeah,
this. What?
I did not find anything out, but
No.
um, yeah, you're right. I think I agree, Mooney. I think that everybody's wired differently, and I think that we each handle trauma in our own way, and
Exactly. I
and my
never would think
family.
about killing somebody, no matter what I went through. Absolutely not.
I wanted to say before I forget, this did kind of this was disconcerting to me. So after the wonderful Dr. Grimmett from Scotland was on the stand, the jury had some questions, and a couple of them kind of bothered me. Now, one of them, which I loved, which was, can compulsive lying be a mental disability? Which means they know for a fact she's a compulsive liar. I loved that question. Her
Mhm.
answer was, it's usually associated with antisocial personalities. It would not be a mental disability. They did say, let's see,
So
where
they're actually saying,
yeah,
I think that she is a compulsive liar. I
we
mean,
think she's a
they
close liar, right?
yes, which is
Um,
good.
and it did say, they did ask, is it possible for a person with a great or normal upbringing to have anxiety disorder or develop
Yes.
DID? Now
Yes.
she said anxiety, yes, DID, no.
No.
But the question that had a problem with was, can a difficulty or inability to base evidence or to be rigorously honest or to hold one's the longest run on sentence in the world, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah. That was
base
a she's like,
evidence,
"Could you please break it up in
right,
parts for me because"
or to base evidence or to be rigorously honest or to hold oneself accountable for consequences or actions be indicative of mental disability or past trauma related to BPD. Now, um, now they were only attributing it to BPD, not DID. What I would love for any of them
Mhm.
to ask is, can you have DID and it still not be a valid reason, excuse, whatever word you want to make it, for
Yeah.
what she did to Gannon?
Right.
Can you have that? Can all of those things still be true
Yeah.
and this other still be true as well? The
We go out the
prosecution,
courthouse and hold signs. You can have DID and still not be a killer.
exactly. The prosecution did ask her, does DID make you a killer? She said no.
No.
So I mean, yeah, I really wish that there was more of a point. They would make more of a point to it, and maybe they will in their closing, where they say, um, you know, she can have this and still not be insane. Because to be clear, what she's claiming, the insanity she's claiming, literally means that at that moment she didn't know right from wrong. Doesn't mean a lifetime of mental illness. It means in that moment she didn't know what was right and what was wrong. And I just hope that the jury's really paying attention to that.
Oh,
That
I
this.
hope so too.
Hey, Doxy, welcome. Welcome on over, Doxy, and you are most welcome. Um, I think sexual harassment has become Letitia's go-to tactic. She is, yes, yes,
I
you are
think it
correct.
is too. Yeah,
Yes,
I kind of think that the whole Alaska thing, she wanted to go back
yeah.
to she just didn't want to live in Alaska. I don't think she wanted to live in
Well,
Colorado either, but
and technically, she didn't live in Alaska, right?
right,
She basically went there and visited, stayed in the house in South Carolina, went there, visited, and I thought, well, Al gets. At first, I gave her benefit of the doubt. Well, Al gets transferred, and maybe she wasn't. She was new to military life. Well, no, first she wasn't. She grew up in military family. Second, she knew he was in the military. Third, he
right.
applied for that job. He wanted it so very much.
I
You
did they
know,
not talk about it? Did they not,
right?
I
At
maybe she was
that
like, "Oh,
point,
that'd be cool to be in Alaska." And then when she went there, she was like, "Wait a minute. Apparently I should have did a little
well, they
research.
didn't
This
sell the
place is
house.
cold."
Right. What was it? She told Harley. She told Harley that it was cold and there was nothing to do. Yeah. I.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't play softball.
She got out of it, didn't she? She got out of living there. She did
She
exactly
did.
what she
It
needed to
worked.
do, and
That should have been his first clue. Oh my gosh. But then even today they were talking about or she in her during her interview, she was saying I got in trouble with the cops because I called them because I seen somebody in my backyard, but they could see on the cameras and everything that nobody was in my backyard. So they told me that
right.
if I file a false police report, I could get in trouble. And I'm like, that is Letitia to a T. She's trying to get
Yep.
Al's attention. So what does
Yep.
she do? Somebody's in the backyard. I have to call the police and blah blah
Well,
blah. And making this. If you see somebody in your backyard, you're not gonna. I don't know. You have cameras. Like you're not gonna call the cops. Like
do you
I don't
remember when
know.
she said that her and the kids talked about it and they decided to make more out of the burn on the carpet, the more out of the fire than what was real, on purpose, because they wanted Al home. Al was only supposed to be gone for 3 days.
Days. I
3 days
know.
and three
She.
nights.
I. She didn't
Yeah.
even want to be with them. It didn't sound like she was going on to be a flight attendant. She was talking to
Well,
she was pairing up with Landon to send the kids
well,
back.
see, that's it. It wasn't that she wanted him home. She just didn't want to have to stay around for the kids. I
Yeah,
think that was it.
it was
So,
all about the kids. It's
yeah,
no coincidence that one of the kids got killed. If Landon would have done something wrong, I don't think it was a boy girl thing. I just think it was a
you
heat
mean
of the
Lena?
moment. Oh yeah. Geesh, I
Yeah,
always mix up. Yeah, Lena.
it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I think that it would have been her. It just she is just a selfish, evil person.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Her statement showed a whole lot of self preservation and a whole lot of narcissism and very, very, very a smidge of DID sprinkled in. Like, she could
Yeah.
access Maria, but only if you had wait, what was that? Only if you had a piece of evidence? Are you kidding me? So the only time you can access part of your brain is if you have evidence from a crime, from a discovery of a like where I was like, I had to rewind
What
it. I'm like,
planet are
did
you
she really
from?
say that?
Yeah.
Did she really say that?
Uh, Everything that Letitia says surprises me. So yes, she definitely said.
I don't Goddess Love had brought up that they fear people walking around freely that should be in prison, and yes, the amount of crazy that it makes me is so much, and
Oh my gosh.
I don't like it when, yeah, and also that's right, Mooney. She had access to not only her discovery but the DSM-5. Well, she had access to that because of the law library, but
Yeah.
I think, yeah, she claims she needed a trigger. What is she, like a psychic who needs a um what is that called, a what is that called, Mike? When an empath needs a touchstone? It's not called a touchstone though. I'm trying to think of what it's called. People who believe that they're. I'm not saying I believe in psychics or don't. I'm saying this is a point I was making. People who believe
Oop,
that they are
Molly. Oop.
psychic, believe if they hold something of a person's, that they kind of a touchstone. She acted like she needed a touchstone of Gannon's murder to bring out a personality of her own. What? What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like
She claims
where?
she.
I
Yeah. I, Everything that she said just doesn't align. It just doesn't make sense. It's like an author trying to create without experiencing it, uh, a,
Yes.
a DID
Yes.
person,
Yeah.
like I'm going to create a story based
Yeah.
on me just doing a little bit of
And do
research.
no, right, and do no research. I'm just going to create this character. Right.
Yeah. And
Yeah. It's like
yeah.
a 1D instead of, yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
sure. Sure. It was so unbelievable in just the things that she said and the things that we know she did. And then including other family members. I'm like, the
Oh,
depths
because
this woman will go.
you
It's
know
never ending.
that forever, well, unless they take it down, but they don't usually do that. You know that Lena is going to see this someday. She's going to have access to this. And
Mhm.
what if she's 10, 12, 13, and she's got friends at school saying, "Wow, you helped carry a dead body. You got cooties." I can just hear it now.
Now, yeah,
I was
kids are
like,
mean.
what is she doing to these
Yeah,
children?
yes. And poor Harley already testified. She already said she wasn't insane. She was herself. I
Yeah.
didn't know. And here
Yeah.
she's not trying to protect her early on in the case.
Hmm.
She's not trying to protect her. But then she's calling her to, set up bank transactions and,
Right.
she's claiming, "Oh, I'm so, out of it, whatever." But then she's like, transfer money from this account to this account because um
Oh,
uh,
what I wouldn't give to listen to those jail
uh
calls.
I
What I wouldn't
know.
give.
I wish they would have played them. They could have. I
They
don't know
could
why they
have.
didn't. I
I
don't know why
know.
they didn't, because it would have, although them saying it is one thing, but actually hearing them would be, something different, that she sounds organized and
Yep.
self preservation once again.
I don't know if they can. I mean, I
Oh,
know
you
they
don't think
could
they
use
can?
them.
I know they included phone calls before.
I don't know. I've never heard them. I mean, isn't that I mean, obviously it's not hearsay, but it sort of is because I don't know who you'd introduce them under. You could introduce them under the doctor that listened to them, but then the doctor that listened to them wouldn't be able to testify because it would be hearsay. So I don't know how it would be
Oh,
introduced. I'm not sure.
well, they could, if Letitia took the stand, maybe they could call her,
Oh,
or they could,
well, yeah.
when Harley's up there, they could say, "Hey, do you remember having this phone conversation?"
Could
and
they?
including it. But that would be confusing because,
Well, they usually are public info. It's a matter
yeah,
of
it is. Yeah.
knowing what to request. And I mean, everything else about this trial, about their case, every single bit of discovery is online.
Yeah.
As long as you know the case file, um, anybody that wants it, by the way, I'm happy to provide the case number. As long as you have that, um, if you go to the Colorado Judicial Branch and you plug that in the search engine, it will give you everything, and it even gives you like from basically February 27th to like December of the next year. It breaks it down into years even. So it makes it really easy, and it's got links to all the files, but I did not see not one single jail call in there. Not one.
Okay.
Um, maybe I missed it because I didn't know they existed. Maybe I need to go back and look, but um, I don't know. Maybe they would wait and see if they were going to be used first, but I don't think so.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
don't know. I'll have to look into that before we come back to. I'll put that on my list. Okay, you guys, it's on my list.
It's
Okay,
on our list.
there's a
All right.
list.
I like Barb's comment where she said, "Wait until she goes into prison for implicating a Hispanic." Actually, it wasn't
Oh,
a Hispanic person. It was
uh,
any
you
Hispanic
just
person.
wait. You just
Yeah,
wait.
it's not going to be good for her.
You
If
just
they're
wait.
watching court TV, then she's in trouble.
No, no, no,
Who
no. It's not going to
who
go well.
yes.
And I mean, I know they don't get complete coverage, but Nine News is covering this, and
Yeah.
they're local, so that's who. I mean, at least that's who I'm watching it off of. That's who speed I'm watching. So
Okay. Yep, yep.
I don't know. I don't know
I've
what
been
the.
watching court TV just because I have it in my like it just comes up automatically. I know 9 is better, but I
Oh well, today I had to flip over to Law and Crime, and that was bad too. It was really too loud and tinny. I wish I'd thought about Court TV. I did not even consider them, but
mm.
yeah, I was having a heck of a time today. My batteries went out. I couldn't fast forward. It was a day.
I had to do there was points in time where I had to do like 10 seconds at a time and I'm like, it's an hour and a half break. Like, come on, work with me here. I'm not
Exactly right.
gonna be here for I was doing it on
Um,
my TV before I switched to my
I
phone.
think it's Channel 9 out of Colorado, Mooney. I'm not sure. It's 9 News. Hang on, I'll go look. I subbed to it for the trial. I assumed that it was out of Colorado, but you might be wrong. I don't know. Let me go look. So what else? So Wednesday we had the lovely Dr. Grement, who practices in
I liked her.
Hawaii and Colorado.
Yep.
What is that like? Just like hopping back and forth, I guess. I mean, I guess if you can, why not?
Right,
Why
right.
not hop back and forth?
Right,
Let me
right.
check. Um, and then the only other one was Dr. Torres, who I think they're
Yeah.
gonna keep up there forever. Yeah, it's official YouTube channel of Nine News in Denver, Colorado.
Oh, they ended with her today. Dr. Torres. She's done.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
that's what
She's
I was
done.
saying. I missed
She's
the very,
she
very
won't be there.
end.
Yeah, she won't be back on Monday. They excused her. They asked their
Okay.
questions. The jury
All right.
asked a couple questions, which I did not write down. And if anybody
Okay.
remembers, please remind me because I am forgetting. But yeah,
I'll go
they had
back
a
and
couple.
watch. I
Yeah, they They had a couple questions, nothing major, just basically,
Yeah.
the same type of questions.
Oh, right.
Um,
Can you
uh,
imagine how many? I don't watch It Could Melt just because I don't want any commentary with my trial. Because then we come on here and we do commentary. So,
oh yeah, that'll sway my thoughts
so
if I
I
watch.
kind of, yeah, I kind
Yeah.
of wait.
Or I'll repeat what they said, and I don't wanna do that. I don't wanna be
Oh
repetitive.
no
It's
no
not
no no
because
yeah
I don't like them,
yeah
'cause
yeah.
that's not the
I don't.
deal. Yeah.
Um. Yes,
But
and how
I think
many?
he has a good channel. He covers a lot. I don't know how he goes live like 40 times a day. Good for him.
How many
It
Maria Sanchez's are they gonna? Is she gonna run into in prison?
oh my gosh. She's gonna be like,
Somebody
"Your
was
name
just
is
saying that
Maria?"
the Spanish. Andrea was saying that the Spanish mommies are gonna get her, but think about how many the. Yeah, and Lyrica, I did consider watching Grizzly as well, but I didn't want to. I kind of wanted to just watch just a news channel because I didn't want to come on here and not talk and then forget to credit that channel. Does that make sense? Like I
Sure.
didn't. Sometimes I forget and I'm taking notes and stuff, and I didn't want to come on here and say, "Oh, but forget to say that I'd watched theirs." I do like Grizzly. I think she's great. I like her. I just yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, but I'm excited about Monday. I don't know about you
Well,
guys, but Dr. Lewis, what is she going to say? Is she officially going to say that she thinks that Letitia has DID, or is she just going to explain DID and
no,
say that she has some characteristics? I don't know.
I think she's gonna
Her
say it, honey.
reputation is yeah, her reputation is on the line. I'd be surprised if
Um,
that's the route she takes, but it's for the defense. Why would he call her if he didn't
okay.
think yeah.
Here's something we haven't talked about. And once again, like I said, I was having problems with my remote and my channels. Okay, so apparently, when there was a sidebar right at the 1 o'clock hour, they had just come up there to decide when they were having their first break. And did she yell out loud, no?
What?
Yeah, you didn't get it either. Hmm.
No.
Hmm.
No. No, I didn't hear that at all. I'm like, "No, no." I meant no, I didn't hear her say no.
Andrea, I see your request there. If you want, hang on here. I'm going to close your eyes, Kim. I'm gonna put my I'm gonna put my email address on the screen. That's fine. If you want, you can send that to me, and I'll add it to the lovely Kim's list if you'd like to do that. Apparently, there was a they were getting ready to. It was just the prosecution tooling along, asking questions, and then had said to the judge, "Let me know when you want to take a break or when's a good time." And the judge said, "Actually, can you guys approach?" Well, when they approach, I always skip forward like 10 seconds. I always do it because it's
The George
silent.
the judge tore a new one? Did I miss all this?
Apparently, well, apparently, she yelled out the word no. But I don't think anybody heard it because, you know, everything
Oh!
was muted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, okay, okay. I do okay, I didn't hear her say it, but I do okay,
You
yes,
heard him
yes, yes.
yell at her?
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, yeah, now it's yeah, I
Okay.
get
So
it
it
now.
wasn't audible for anybody. Okay. I thought it was me. I was going to go back afterwards and search. So
Yeah,
thank you,
no.
all of you, for telling me to not do that
Yeah.
because, boy, howdy, it would have been a long night. So thank you.
Exactly. We'll save you some time.
With my
Yeah.
remote not working and the battery, I was having issues today. I'm like, I need new batteries. So my husband goes and gets new batteries, and it's not that. So we unplug the TV, and it's better. I'm like, wow, I wasted all that time. So
Time. Oh
yeah,
no.
yeah, we just kind of had to reset the TV to get it to yeah. But I they were just asking a normal question, and then went up to the sidebar. And when it's it's sidebar, it's like static. So I just skipped forward like 10, 15 seconds, and yeah. Next thing I know, it was yeah. Apparently, she was yelling, and I didn't get to hear it. So, but it was a darn
Well,
shame
I'm
that she
glad
was all.
I'm amazed we haven't seen more outbursts from her. Because,
Honestly, I wish that he would admonish her in front of the jury. I get why he doesn't. I know that the whole point of removing the jury is to keep a clean jury. I get that.
right, right.
But she's trying to manipulate the jury, and I really wish, and I think eventually he's going to have to. If she doesn't chill out, she only got a couple more days left.
Yeah,
I really wish at some point he would put on the record, look, you know, Letitia Stauch has been acting out for like weeks now. We've been dealing with it. It's your turn. I'm kidding. But you know what I mean.
right.
You know, how he had them leave the room when he talked to her about, flipping the bird to people and,
Right.
saying,
Bolts her down and put
so
duct tape on her mouth.
yes, he was going to
Sounds
bolt her
perfect.
down. Right. He was going to, yeah, he was going to, oh, what was his name? He was going to pull a Brooks on her.
Yeah. Which, that would have made my day. I'm so evil, but yeah,
No, you can be
that
that way. Come on. We reserve the right to feel that way. She killed a child. She has admitted she killed a child. And
yeah.
she didn't just accidentally, I left the screen door open and the child accidentally drowned. No,
Right, right,
this was
right.
different. Exactly. This was
Well,
completely different.
well, speaking about that though, it was interesting during the trial when they asked the question, and this is how I see somebody with DID is that you do a crime and then you just sit there and you wait for the cops to come because you felt what you were doing was just. Like, I didn't do this evilly.
Right, exactly.
I did this because they were coming after me. I was doing this
Right.
for the greater good. Why don't you understand that? There's many of cases that we cover that you're like, what are you doing? Like, but they don't go to the extents of covering everything up and driving
Mm-mm.
across
No,
country and
no.
managing funds and
Oh, and,
hotels
and, oh,
and
and the whole,
cars
that was
and
Well, and that was just so that she could, maybe get him to his grandma and papa's house in South Carolina, which is where she ended up. So how did he end up in Florida? But
exactly.
come on.
And everybody's seen through that. She's like, I woke up and I didn't realize I wasn't in South Carolina anymore, or I realized I was in something about being there or not being there, and I'm just like,
Mm,
whatever. From her video recordings or whatever, I'm just like, whatever. Yeah, no,
yeah,
I'm not buying it. You got to come up with something better.
exactly. Congrats, Andrea. Congrats on that. I wish you continued success. That is not easy. Not that
Yeah,
I know personally,
exactly.
but I'm saying congrats.
Right, right. Oh, good for you. Sorry, I didn't know if you wanted me to post that up there.
Is that actually the Mrs. B? Sarah, is that you? Speak up. Trying to see. I don't know. Everyone's name is the same on here, so I don't know. Don't know.
All right.
Yeah,
For what it's worth, she apologized. For what it's
she
worth,
did. She yelled something like, I'm sorry, I didn't," something like,
yeah.
"I'm sorry, I didn't hear." Oh, look at that. It is the actual Sarah B. Well, wonders never cease. Hello, Sarah. Sarah, Kim, Sarah. Yes, my husband just said long time. Hey, love, just teasing you. Um, so yeah, she said something like, I'm sorry. It almost sounded like she said, I didn't hear something like, I'm sorry, I said that I didn't hear something, almost like someone was talking
Making
to
an
her, and I'm like,
excuse. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, is she making things up? Like, yeah.
Right, right.
Oh yeah, whatever. Oh, good grief. Oh, yesterday my son said that. Whatever. I said,
Don't. If you
don't.
if you start saying yada yada yada, you're get out of here.
I'm like, find another word. Find another word. Something different than whatever. Nope, find another word.
Yes, yes.
Find a different word.
Letitia's pet phrase. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
So, we missed 2 full days, and it seems like,
I think Wednesday and today were pretty much duplicates of asking the same
They
questions.
were the
And
same, right?
yeah, and they both kind of landed at the same place in the
Yeah,
most important question at the end of the day. Do you think that Letitia at the time of her crime was insane? And the
yeah.
answer was no.
No.
And that's all I took. That's
Yup.
all I needed to hear.
Right.
Yeah, I, I
Did you
have
write a big
not.
no on your page too? I
Oh my
wrote a.
God.
We should
Yes.
all take really. We should take pictures of our big nose because I wrote a really big no on mine.
Yes. No.
I've been
Absolutely not.
underlining and check marking and.
No, there's too much planning. I know the
Uh,
jury's seeing right through that.
yeah.
Way, way too much planning. Um,
Oh
I,
man.
I would, I would be surprised if the jury came back and I don't know. We're ending next week. I can't believe it's ending.
But do not act like you're sad. I saw that. I heard that. Don't you dare.
I am
Uh,
sad. And even yesterday when I woke up and I text you and I'm like, oh, I forgot there because that's just
yeah.
my normal daily
You're like,
routine.
there's
Is
no
the
court. I'm like, no, there's no
no,
court.
they're not.
Like, do not tell me she misses court.
I actually did.
Like she misses court. There's something wrong. We all need to go to California and check on Kim right now. Right
Well,
now.
or I just need to get a life. One of the two. All right. Hey, you're amazing. Okay.
We did. Um, Bean Feathers. We actually did interview a person who suffers from it and get their opinion
Oh yeah,
on
that
her.
was not the
She,
last episode, but the episode before.
yeah, 2 episodes earlier, and honestly, she said that she couldn't give an opinion as to whether she had it or not, but she saw a lot of indicators that made her sway away from it because she didn't see the things that she expected, um, which were things we've talked about on here, like, well, last loss of memory or losing time, but also little things like I was saying earlier, how my friend was called like a fake and a phony and a liar because her personalities were never the same around her friends. And so they were like, wait, you just said you like Diet Coke. And she's like, no, I've always liked Diet Pepsi. And they're like, liar, like for a long time.
Right.
Um,
Right.
she, one thing that she brought up after that I was telling Kim about was that she still, to this day, she finds she will get delivered things that she does not remember ordering, that are ordered completely for her, what I will call her core or host personality. And they are things that she would never wear, like pink hair bows or pink shirts. And she's not the kind of person that would wear a pink shirt. None of the alters would wear a pink shirt except for the core. And so things will show up at the house, or she'll get an invoice in the mail. She'll get like Amazon will be like, you purchased something, and she'll be like, oh, what do we do now? You know, she'll know now, but it was one of the things. And she said that nobody, not Harley, not Al, um not even her brother, not even, you know, Letitia, in either of her interviews now has mentioned losing time. Like, I woke up in Pittsburgh and I don't know how I got there. um
Yeah.
she did say that she, escaped into Canada with the Maria Sanchez's passport, which nobody could find. But
Exactly.
he didn't seem upset by the fact that she was in another country, which that would be upsetting if you didn't intend to go there.
Was there? Yeah. Like I
And
woke up in this strange place. How did I get here? And worried about yourself, or
mhm,
yeah, not. Oh, I just kind of checked myself into a therapy or whatever.
right, I yeah, yeah. And then I love the fact that she has this um what is it, this secretive hospital in Canada where she can't remember the name of it or the name of the doctor or where it was, but
Uh,
she was
To
definitely there.
to
Yeah,
prove that she has a mental illness but
right,
cannot provide any information to back it up. Like this is
exactly,
your saving grace. So they bring it up, but there's no
yeah,
proof. Like
right,
what I don't
yeah,
it was
exactly.
almost pointless. I wish that the defense wouldn't wouldn't have even brought it up because it just makes her look more guilty. It just makes her look more as a liar trying to claim she has a mental illness. It almost hurt them more than it did any good.
Exactly. Yeah.
If she checked into a place in Canada, would you know? Yeah, if she gave us the frickin' phone number or a doctor or a clinic or anything, but she didn't. Why do you keep bringing it up? It's
Yep.
hurting you more than it is good.
Right. Exactly. And yeah, you would definitely know. And that's the other thing. You well, and we're at this stage where you're right. I think Dead Barbarian was saying that she's at the phase. She's the psych evals made them mad because we're never gonna know what happened to Gannon because she can't mess up. I I agree. Made me very angry today when she questioned the autopsy. She's like, "You guys got it wrong." Kidding me? You got it wrong. You know,
Right, right.
you know, I, you know, I wasn't gonna mention that, Miss Sarah, but yes, Miss Sarah lost her daughter, and I know that she can imagine what Landon is feeling, and
Oh, I
that's
wouldn't
not
wish that on my worst enemy. No, no,
no.
no, no.
No, and it's not anything that anybody can ever take back or anybody can ever explain away. So let's say that you did have DID and let's say that you did wake up and you had killed a child. Well, then the best thing for you to do as a caring human being who was an educator would be to confess and go to prison. I
Take
mean, and
responsibility for your mental illness.
let's look at the other side of it. Let's say that let's say that she has DID and that she realized, over time, let's say it's not, all of a sudden, but let's say over time, what was it she started saying today? Me and my team have figured it out. Let's say over time she figured out that she did this. Well, she should not be able to sit comfortably in that courtroom.
Mm-hmm.
Gannon's parents are in that courtroom, and she should be on her knees begging their forgiveness. And what is she doing? She's over there flipping the bird, and she's reading the Bible and saying her tummy hurts.
Yeah,
You know,
it's yeah, it's still no remorse. I still don't feel like I'm getting remorse from her. Who is it's not Yates. It's the other lady that killed her 4 or 5 kids and then
Andrea
waited
Yates. Andrea
was it
Yates killed her 5 kids. Yeah.
and then
Yes.
she just waited for the police to come and was
Yes,
like,
she had
I
severe postpartum psychosis, and
yeah,
her husband knew not to leave her alone with those children. And as
yeah,
soon as she left, she drowned them
yeah,
all in the bathtub, and then she sat and waited for the police to come, and she went
yeah,
to jail. She has not appealed. Well, actually,
nothing.
she's in a psychiatric institute. She hasn't tried to
Yeah,
get out. Nobody's
no,
trying to get Andrea out. You
no.
know,
She knows she's in the right place and she's probably getting help. But I can tell you that although what she did was horrible and I would again, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, but I kind of can understand because I don't feel like she was trying to evade anything or trying to escape anything. I truly believe that it
her somehow wasn't malicious, if that makes sense. I
right.
don't I don't know how you can kill all of your children and not be malicious about it, but
Malicious.
it was
Yes.
not.
Right,
It
right.
was not. Yeah, it
So
just it
that's
was.
why I want to cover Andrea's Yates. I want to cover her case, but then another part of me is like I almost have this bias to child murderers, and I think it's almost a different type of video that I
Oh
typically
yeah.
do that it would almost come across the wrong way if you haven't seen other videos. So I haven't touched it, but I
Oh
am
right.
fascinated by that case.
People might
Just
think you're going too easy on her.
yeah, and
Right.
so I just
Well, I say to hell with them, love. Honestly, I mean, you give your take, you give your opinion, you give your feel on it, and
right.
I promise you that well, in my opinion, Andrea Yates feels every single one of those deaths, and she
Oh
has and
God,
will for the rest of her life.
of her life.
And you know
Yeah,
what? And that was preventable. Hers was preventable. Her husband knew what was wrong with her, and
yeah,
he was a crazy wackadoo, and
yeah.
he had her living in a freaking an RV with 5 kids and refused to let her be on any psychiatric meds. I mean, he knew, that she had, yes, exactly, Andrea, real legitimate issues.
Right, right.
And and yeah, honestly, yeah, you want to cover it, you cover it. It's your channel. I agree.
Yeah.
And you give your take on it. And I haven't seen, honestly, I haven't seen a lot of bad Andrea Yates coverage. I think pretty much, I don't think I've seen any bad coverage on her. Um,
But what a sad case. But and that's
uh,
the thing is if Letitia did have this mental whatever and she didn't know what she was doing, but then she came to and she had visions and she was outside of her body and she could see what she was doing and she's cross country. She doesn't know how she gets there. She has a dead body in her car. She had so many opportunities to go to the police and say, look, I don't know what happened, but this is where I'm at, and I have DID, and but at no point, not even until after she was in prison, did she ever. She was still claiming that she's going to sue everybody, that she's so innocent. She never has shown any remorse. That woman does not spend the rest of her life in prison. I swear. I'm giving up on true crime.
you are not. You live and breathe it, child.
I'm giving it up.
This is exactly why we work. We live and breathe it.
I will be so upset though, let me tell you. I think a lot of people, I don't think there's anybody I've come across. Maybe I've come across some people that said that they think she has DID, but they don't think that's an excuse for what she did. So
Right.
I I
Yeah.
don't think there's too many
Uh,
people that actually think that she should get off. It's just her lies. Everybody hates a liar, and she's a big liar.
yeah, like right, Barb. Darlie Routier was another person, and actually, Darlie, there are I think two sides of there are two sides of the aisle. Some people believe she was the perpetrator who killed her children. Some people believe she did not. So as far as
Okay.
Darlie goes, it's very divisive. Do you remember that? Her two little boys. She said that her husband was upstairs asleep. It was in, yes, Tyler,
I
Texas. Yes.
I'm still on the
Oh no,
fence on
wait,
that
no,
one.
no. I'm sorry, not Tyler, Texas. That's a different one. But
But
you know
the
what I'm
home
talking about, right?
invasion, the
Yep.
living room,
The home
you could
invasion.
you could
Yes.
see the whole crime scene of what happened. And then her husband stood by her. Like he's
Yeah.
like, she is 100%. They were going through some money troubles. She got a boob job or something like that. That was like, I don't, this case
Yes.
happened a while ago. So that was like all the talk. And it was like, who cares?
It was a
She
big
killed
deal
her
then.
yeah, she had the birthday party and she had balloons and they were laughing and happy. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, at my mom's memorial, we were laughing and happy. We were bringing up, I mean, there
Right.
was sad moments, don't get me wrong, but we
Right.
were all focused on the good memories and you know what I
Yeah.
mean? If
Well,
they
she,
videotape me at times at my mom's funeral,
right.
I mean, yeah, or not funeral, but memorial. We had like a
Yes.
picnic thing. Yeah, I don't think you can judge a person by
No,
one
and you're right.
segment of
The sock.
moments.
You're right.
Yeah,
There was the sock, the bloody sock. And she did say that just a few minutes earlier, they had had a very sad memorial.
more.
And yes,
Yeah,
Susan
they didn't
Smith
get
was
pictures of
in,
that. Yeah.
yes, exactly. Susan Smith was in Tyler, Texas, and she was the one who had her little boys in the back of the car and drove them down the boat dock. Yeah. Do you remember her? She went and said that
Who?
she
Who?
went
What's the name?
Susan Smith. She was the woman who said that her kids were in the back seat of her car and
Is that?
that
Are you
she
talking about Diane Downs?
no, Diane Downs is the second one. No, Susan Smith.
Oh,
Susan
okay.
Smith was the one who had two little boys. And she said that she was carjacked, right? By this African American man. She was carjacked, and her kids were in the back of the car, and the entire town came out to support her. Well, it turns out that actually what she did was she drove her kids off the end of this boat dock into the water.
Okay.
And she
Stop running in and out. Okay.
yeah, she killed her kids, and yes, Diane Downs also killed her kids, but that was with a gun. Susan Smith actually strapped her little babies, they were toddlers, into their car seats and then drove them into a lake. I'm sorry, that's just, I find her colder than most. And I
Yeah,
know
that is
Diane
cool.
Downs shot
Does
them all, but
she know what
uh,
drowning is like? That is evil.
it's supposed to be one of the most painful things.
Yeah,
Just,
fire and
yeah.
drowning. Yeah. Those are my worst fears. Yeah.
I am supposed to share this with everyone. I'm not sure how comfortable I am sharing it, but I will. I just love that you call me Beanie. Sarah likes to call me Beanie. Isn't that cute? Um,
Aw.
Jeannie Beanie. Yeah. Um, so one of the viewers in here, Samantha Dixon, had left, and she had emailed me and said that she is in the hospital. She's just having some issues with her hand and breathing
Oh,
issues.
ouch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
trouble with her hand and some breathing issues. So she just, I don't know. Maybe we could send good thoughts her way.
Aw.
Yeah. So anyway,
Speaking of,
um,
include your GoFundMe. We want to
yeah.
make sure we want to get you so you're not throwing up of stress every day and can get.
Do I have to?
Please do. I would
You
click
can't
off,
make
but then
me.
I'll lose everybody. Then everybody.
I'm like, you can't make me. She can't make me, can she? All right. What are the odds? Can she actually make me? Okay. All right. Maybe she
No,
could. She could just, kick me out of StreamYard. So, all right, fine. Give me a minute.
no.
Getting it.
Yeah, no. I think you have been an asset to this stream, and people are so kind and sending super chats and whatnot, but I'd rather you get that money than I do, so you guys keep that in mind for Monday and Tuesday as well. Just keep Jeannie in your thoughts. She'll get past
I
this,
do
won't you, love?
appreciate it.
Yeah, you'll
We
get
are
past.
getting there. We are getting there. I don't know if anybody knows the story, but we moved at the beginning of February, February 9th, and then on February 14th, both my husband and son, who are the income bringers, is that what it's called? They both got fired on the same day, same time, same place.
Yeah.
No cause. So yeah, we
Yeah.
got behind 2 months in rent. So it's been, there you go. There's the GoFundMe. So our very good friend Elise, who should still be in here, she's running in and out, checking on kids. That girl homeschools children. I couldn't do
Oh
it. But
my
anyway,
gosh, wow.
yes,
She's a saint.
she Miss Elise made the GoFundMe for us, and we're actually we're making a dent in it. So anything helps. Even a few viewers on here have even done like $5. There are a couple of people I forgot to tell you, Kim, from like Wales, and there's someone
Aw,
from
that's really
Wales
nice
and
of
someone
them.
from Ireland who left like five. I was like, seriously, like, like that's like a big deal. Like it made me all. I'm not gonna cry again. Why do you keep making me cry, Kim? Cry, Minnie.
I'm telling you, rough
Breathe.
times. I'm the
Do
biggest
say it.
crier. You tell
Yeah.
me. I'm the worst crier in the world. I see Colleen Ballinger. She has a shirt that says I cry a lot, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I need that shirt." It
Yeah, I
defines me.
don't usually. And
Oh, I
my
do
husband,
all the
no,
time. I'm
my
terrible.
husband, my husband and I have this joke that I'm a cold-hearted B word. I find I'm cold-hearted bitch. That's what he says. It's a joke between us. I swear it's a joke. It has to be a joke. Yeah. Or he's a masochist because he's still here. Either way. But yeah. No, I don't cry. But then, don't you know? The other day, your viewer made me cry over Anthony Avalos, and now
Yeah.
I'm not getting teary-eyed today. Nope.
I'm probably rubbing off on you. Maybe I should stop calling you
Maybe you
crying.
are. Maybe you are. Stop talking to me. That's it. I need out.
Making you soft.
There you go. Yeah. Mooney said she needs a shirt that says "I cuss a lot." There you go.
Oh
There you
my
go.
gosh, I love
I
it.
cuss a lot. Yeah.
Well, actually, you could get one that says I cry a lot and then I cuss a lot
I
too.
cuss a lot. Exactly. Yeah.
because I have a trucker mouth. Let me tell you, my show is so cleaned up because I have a lot of F bombs and B's and C's and any other one you can
Well, do you
bring.
remember? I think it was like our second live, and I don't know if you guys know, but I'm one of Kim's moderators, and somebody had put in
The
one of
F
their
word or
things
something.
the F word, and so I texted her. I'm like, "Is it okay if we have the F word in your thing?" And she was like, "Of course." I'm like, "I didn't know. I'm supposed to ask those kinds of things. I'm supposed to be the moderator here. I'm supposed to ask, but yeah." She's like, "Of course, we can say whatever we want." Like,
Oh,
oh,
I still get teary-eyed over Brianna Lopez's story. I hate that story. I
oh
hated
yeah.
doing it, but I had requests.
Uh,
I probably got 5 requests a week to cover that case, and I know it isn't an important case to oh, I'm not even gonna talk about it. I'm gonna cry
nope, nope, nope.
again.
We're not going there. Nope.
Well, let's
We will
move on,
not
let's
talk
move
about
on.
that
I
one.
hate
Nope.
that story. I hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. I'll switch comments.
I appreciate what
Oh.
you put on there. God is love. I do. Don't you dare worry. Not even. Don't you even worry 1 second. Um, I I,
Oh,
appre-
yeah,
I appreciate
yeah,
the sentiment. I really, really do. I do so much. That's really kind. It's hard when you're on a fixed budget, a fixed income. I mean, that's
yeah.
really hard. Yeah, yeah.
All right, so what does everybody want to see happen on Monday with Dr. Lewis?
Uh,
I just want to know what she's going to say. Like I'm going to be glued to the TV. Or hold on. Maybe not Monday. She may come at after lunch. But if not, definitely Tuesday, Dr. Lewis. Another witness, which you probably know, Jeannie. No?
me.
Who the next witness is, the last one for the prosecution?
Oh, I do, I do, I do. Yes. Hang on. Let me grab the other notebook. I have spanned over 3 notebooks now. It's beyond telling you. That's it. I'm charging somebody for notebooks. Yeah. Had to send my husband out for ink pens. Let's see. Let's see, Dr. Grimmett, then we had Harlan, Dr. Moore. Um who's left? Oh, Dr. Gray. It is possible that
Oh,
they'll
okay.
take Dr. Gray because Dr. Gray is the other half of Dr. Torres. It's possible because I don't know if you've noticed, but Dr. Torres has been testifying to what Dr. Gray asked and what Dr. Gray said. So, which is really kind of unheard of because they usually say, "Well, Your Honor, why don't we make Dr. Gray say it?" So, you know,
Yeah. The whole defense, how they ask their questions, they ask them not for the person to like he doesn't ask he makes a statement for them to say yes or no. He doesn't
yeah,
ever ask them to explain anything, which is
no,
like if a person has this, does it mean this?
right,
Yes.
no
It,
open-ended questions. Exactly.
yeah, no
No,
open-ended. And
no,
it's
exactly.
I don't know, maybe that's why they get paid
Well,
what they do, but I'm like
Andrea, they have a list, but the only thing on the list is experts. Um, they have Dr. Lewis. They have. I'm trying to see who else. Hang on a second. Let me pull it up here. Let me pull up their
Andrea, the
latest one.
defense does have a witness, Dr. Lewis, as far as I know. I don't know if they
Endorsement.
have.
uh, Endorsement. Hang on a second.
I don't think they have any other witnesses on the
Well,
defense.
they have a witness list, and on the witness list, they have like 4. Hang on a second. Let me make sure I've got the right one. What do we have here? Through 221. No, give me a second. I'm just looking for the most recent one in case they filed a new one. Let's see. All right, what's the last one
Yeah,
I
Nancy,
got?
I hope that she doesn't throw her reputation away, but it could be a publicity stunt for her new Netflix deal. I'm just saying, it's not uncommon in LA for people to do the weirdest things to,
No,
we've heard about sex tapes coming out and whatever, and all it does is promote their new
on
movie or
purpose.
their
Right.
on purpose. Yeah, and they'll act like, "Oh, I'm so ashamed," when all they were doing was trying to, boost sales for their upcoming whatever.
Let me see. People's
Maria
intent.
Sanchez hurled the trash can at
Self-authenticating.
Prosecutor Young. Oh my gosh. I was waiting to I'll put that up there. Oh,
Self-authenticating
I would
records.
do it for him if or for her.
Okay.
I think the
People's worship for
defense was
discovery.
definitely better today than they've been because
Oh,
I
that
know.
I think it's because it was Torlini instead of Will Cook.
Oh, yeah, true. I like him way better than the Cook guy. The Cook guy hasn't really
Oh,
been up there too much. I think he failed the first time he went up, and it was just like, oh my God, you are terrible.
I don't know. I don't like Torlini. He bugs me. I
Yeah.
sorry, Torlini. There's nothing wrong with you personally.
Yeah.
I think it's that your questions are getting to
Dumb.
the yeah. They're getting to the heart of the matter, and they're irritating me because you're doing a good job. There you go. That's what I meant.
Maybe. Maybe.
Okay, let's see.
Well, that's what I wonder. Is he a genius or is he super dumb? I don't know. I'm just like I guess he's making his point, but then again, it's his style is so irritating.
Well, I really, I like I said, I really dislike the fact that he attacks the wrong things, in my opinion. How he does this whole, you know, isn't it, are you doing this because of the hospital? Are you doing this because, the jails were overcrowded? Are
Yeah.
you doing this because of, yeah,
He's trying to put a bug in their ear. I get it, but
yeah, it doesn't,
yeah.
yeah, but it still irritates me.
Yeah. And she's like,
Um,
that has no basis. And she said, even, if I did that, I'd probably be out of a job. Or he said that, but then she responds with, it wouldn't be good.
yeah,
Tina, I see right
I
through
think,
Letitia
wow,
as well.
you may actually be right. Presidential for discovery concerning defense experts. You may actually be right. It may just be. It can't just be Dr. Lewis, can it?
It's kind of how they
Wow.
made it
I was
sound.
waiting for. See, I was waiting for closer to. I was waiting for something, but you have to excuse my husband while he coughs up a lung here. Presidential for discovery concerning defense experts. Um.
Uh, Mooney, I totally agree. He's not poking any holes into anything. It's trying to create another hole. He's trying to create another, just like plant a seed of an issue that isn't an issue.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Let's see.
I swear I saw Cook grab the papers Letitia was drawing on to ask his cross examination questions. Are you serious? That's funny. She's drawing stick men all across it, and he's like, "Hey, I need that. I need that back so I can ask my
Can I have
questions."
that back? Yeah.
Letitia was sleeping. Do you guys agree she was sleeping half of the last couple of days?
She definitely had her head down today, and it might have just been that
Yeah,
might have been why she said she didn't feel good. I don't
yeah.
feel good. Can I put my head down, Your Honor? It's like when you're in
Oh my!
math class and you don't want to study algebra.
Even if I
Let's
had the
see.
flu, even if I had the worst stomach virus of my life, I would still stay awake for this is the rest of your life in prison or the rest of your life
Your
in
murder trial.
yeah, your your you can't stay awake during your
I
murder
mean, it's your
trial.
murder trial.
It's a couple
I mean, it
hours.
is your murder trial of all things.
She can take a nap for an hour and a half during their lunch break, and they get a couple other breaks. But that's I don't feel good.
Yep.
Like I I think she's bored. The frick?
Okay. Looks
She
like the
is.
last few things that they've had are, let's see, are notice of self authenticating records. So basically, they entered records and they just wanted to make sure that they would be accepted. Those would be the health records that Dr. Torres talked about. Let's see. Let's see what else.
Erica, I completely agree.
Evaluation, endorsement of witnesses. Let me see if this will get us any closer. I really thought that there would be something else here, but I think that all I'm seeing is Dr. Lewis. They can call other witnesses as rebuttal to their case. So when they start to present their case in chief, if they have, all right, here we go. Let's see. Nope, that's the people. So the people's last witness list had Loandra. I can't say her name. Loandra Torres. Oh,
Dr. Torres.
yeah, they do have Dr. Torres, Dr. Grimmett, Dr. Nako Hashimoto. I love that name. Um, and Dr. Gray. So it is possible that they could bring out Hashimoto and Gray. Remember, Hashimoto's the one who did the test,
Yeah,
and then Gray is the one that was actually in the room. So
right.
those two are possible. As far as, but I could have sworn something else would pop up, but the last thing that I saw for the defense was just Dr. Lewis. And I thought, well, I must have missed something, but so far, that's all I have. Is
Yeah.
Dr. That can't be possible, is it?
So I think it's going to end on Tuesday. I really do. I think we're going to have maybe a verdict because I don't think they're going to take long, but I've been wrong before.
But
Hell,
then what
OJ
on
got
earth
off.
will we do? What
The,
what on
the,
earth will we do with all of our time?
the judge said that he needs to put all the
Anything I want.
evidence in one room and then he needs to put the jury in another room because they won't fit all in the same room. I mean, that should tell you something. That speaks volumes to the amount of evidence that they have to
Yeah.
say that she is guilty. So maybe it might take them a while to go through all of the evidence if they even want to. You know, it's available if they
Yeah.
want to, but
Right.
I doubt they will. And I'm pretty sure, if not Wednesday, definitely Friday, we'll have a verdict. And I am
Look at
going
that.
to.
If it's up to Erica Wells, Letitia will definitely testify. She says she can testify. Don't forget. She can testify. Don't forget. She can testify. Well, if you can will it, then it will be so, Miss Erica Wells.
Oh my gosh. I don't think she will. I think everybody will agree that's a bad idea. She doesn't know when to shut up. She just talks. You'll ask her if the sky is blue, yes or no, and she'll go into this long description of why it's blue and why she
Can you
thinks it's blue,
imagine?
whether
She
it's
got on
right
the
or
stand.
wrong.
If she got on the stand, it would actually end up being an 8-week trial.
Yeah.
Yep.
If
That
she
might
got
be
on
why.
the stand, yeah, if she got on the stand, I'll see you in about 4 months.
Because I kept thinking, why did they allocate 8 weeks? Maybe that's why. What were they calling
Gosh.
her? They were calling her verbose, loquacious, chatty.
Yes, chatty, wordy.
Like, and it kept reminding me of Con Air. You know, when they were talking about, I don't know. It was just an obscure movie reference. Yeah. Yep.
All
And
right.
yes,
Well, I think I'm gonna end it because I have to go pee.
well, that's one reason to end alive. I have to use the bathroom, so I'm gonna go potty. And yes, everybody. What else?
Yeah,
So
so let's meet back here on Monday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time or 6 p.m. Colorado time. And I'm
sounds good.
excited.
Yes.
Oh,
Sounds
Goddess love,
great.
you are a rock star. I'm so sorry for your loss. That was
Yes.
or no, was that no
That was
oh,
Mrs. B.
B. Sorry. Yeah.
That was Mrs. B. Yes. And we celebrate too when evil humans are punished, and that is okay.
Yes.
That is okay. And it is okay to not, it is okay to want God to punish them as well.
Right. Exactly. I agree.
I gotta say, before this ends, you guys have been lovely. Like this community, this little chat community, like
Oh my gosh, you guys have
you
been
guys are,
amazing.
you
Yes.
guys are great. Seriously. If not, it would just be me and Kim on the phone for 3 hours talking true crime. So this is what you've done for us.
No, it really is my highlight. There's moments where I'm like, I don't really I don't really feel like it or whatever, but
Yep.
I'm like, I don't know. This is kind of my highlight.
I told you, even if I was throwing up earlier today, you were like, do you wanna not do it?" I'm like, "No, I'm there. I'm there. I'm there." All right, guys. Well, I hope you have a great night, and we'll see you Monday.
Yes, I'll see you guys Monday. What are we going to do for the next 2 days?
Anything we want.
Exactly. All right. Have a good weekend, guys. See you on Monday. Love
Night,
you.
guys. Love you guys.